I think maybe. Anyway, let's talk about these 10 guitarists right over here. Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen / Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, David Gilmour, Angus Young. Instead of clicking on their individual pages like on Wikipedia, I figured we would just like make a game out of it. And I would ask you who the guitarist is. At least what band are they from? And you tell me the band. So let's start with Angus Young. By the way, for those of you that are guitarists that are actually like seasoned, you're gonna know all of these. Here, this is number one. This is the first question. Let's see if the guitarists get this, and they will, obviously. If this list were ordered, okay, let's assume this list were actually ordered right here, 1 through 10 or 10 through 1, what would it be? What are we looking at right here? Table of contents: Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen / Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, David Gilmour, Angus Young. Is this list 10 to 1 or 1 to 10? Is Angus Young 1 or is Jimi Hendrix 1? Jimi Hendrix would be number 1 according to every other popular list. Yes, so this is technically a list 1 to 10. So that's anticlimactic. I'm going to go from 10 to 1. So I'm going to start at the bottom with Angus Young, and then I'm going to go up to Jimi Hendrix. Do I agree that Jimi Hendrix is number 1? No, I don't agree that any of these people on this list are placed where they're supposed to be. If we're really talking about greatest guitarists of all time, they're leaving out all the other genres here. This is just like a rock-heavy list. I would say electric, but it's like not even accounting for, say, country guitarists. If there were country guys, like I suppose Brad Paisley would be on here, and other cool country guitarists. I'm not going to say slide guitar is included in this, so we'll just talk about like electric guitars and even acoustic guitars. If that were acoustic, there would be like flamenco guys on here. There would be classical guys like Andreas Segovia. Okay, so Angus Young. What band is he from? Angus Young. Angus Young. Time's up. Angus Young, AC/DC. Angus Young is the guitarist for AC/DC. Actually, he was the lead guitarist and, well, still is. I believe still around. But the same can't be said for his brother, Malcolm Young, who was the rhythm guitarist and primary songwriter as well for AC/DC. So R.I.P. Malcolm Young. And Angus Young is an incredible guitarist, and he really defined an era and is one of the best guitarists to come out of Australia, right? AC/DC, I think, is an Australian band, not British. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm going to check it out really quick. Let's see. Angus Young. I think Angus Young is Australian. Let me see really quick. Angus Young. And Angus Young. Angus McKinnon Young, born March 31st, 1955, is an Australian musician. There you go. So, Australian musician, Mr. Angus Young. And, yeah, incredible. Sported the Gibson SG guitar. He pretty much made that his trademark. This guitar right over here, you can't really see it all that well. For one, I'm going to be in the way, and two, that's an awful picture. So let's just type Gibson SG, and there you go. That is the guitar that Angus Young ever popularized, and other players also. Very, very cool looking guitar with the devil horns, unmistakable, and that's hilarious. There he is, the man himself, Angus Young. When you literally Google Gibson SG, the guy that will come up playing it is undoubtedly going to be Mr. Angus Young himself, and of course Jack Black in School of Rock. Because of Angus Young. Okay, we've spent long enough on Mr. Young. Let's talk about David Gilmour and his, I believe, Fender Strats. I think David Gilmour played Fender Strats. We know. Oh my god. A lot of that, dude. Half of this list plays Strats. I just realized that we're getting off topic. What band did David Gilmour play for? Pink Floyd. Okay. David Gilmour was the guitarist for Pink Floyd. Still. Is he dead? Roger Waters. David Gilmour. Sid Barrett, they founded it. I know Sid Barrett. I think Sid Barrett died. I know he took a lot of acid and ended up in really bad shape, but I don't really know much about this band. I will say, oh, what am I talking about? Waters is the lead, is the vocals. David Gilmour is actually the guitarist, right? Just the guitarist, though. The solo from Comfortably Numb is legendary. And it's so funny that I'm like, it's legendary, and I don't even know. I mean, I know Gilmour wrote it and played it and everything, but was Waters also a guitarist or just the singer? Oh no, and Gilmour is a co-lead. I just saw that. Wikipedia. David John Gilmour is an English guitarist, singer, and songwriter who was a member of rock band Pink Floyd. He joined as a guitarist and co-lead vocalist in 1967, shortly before the departure of founder member Sid Barrett. Pink Floyd achieved international success with the concept albums Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, and The Wall. Sorry, I don't know if you just heard that, but the air conditioning just turned on, so I'm going to speak over it a little bit and hope it doesn't drown out the sound of my amazing tunes. Can you hear it? Actually, if I go fingers, can you hear that? So like, where'd the pick go? Here's fingers, or there's a thumb, here's a pick. Difference. Verse. I don't know. Okay. Let's go back. Best guitarist in the world. Okay, so David Gilmour, Pink Floyd. Here's one. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Now, you might just say, well, Stevie Ray Vaughan was Stevie Ray Vaughan, and to you I say, nay, nay. Who was Stevie Ray Vaughan's band? Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. Okay. Best, in my opinion, best blues guitarist that ever lived. R.I.P. Helicopter crash took him out. His famous guitar was, well, a Fender Stratocaster with SRV in it. It is, I want to say, is it an orange sunburst with like a black and gold pick guard. Why did I say pick guard? Stevie Ray guitar. Let's see. SRV guitar. Is it not a Big Apple or Big Apple Strat's only red? SRV guitar. Let's see, because there's a name for it related to Stevie Ray Vaughan and David Gilmour. Dude, what are you looking at my search history here? What are you doing, Google? Stevie Ray Vaughan's instrument guitar right over here. Stevie Ray Vaughan's musical instruments. Oh my God, there's a Wikipedia page devoted to Stevie Ray Vaughan's musical instruments. This is a list and description of guitars and other equipment played by musician Stevie Ray Vaughan. Vaughan played a number of Fender Stratocasters. Thank you very much. When I say Strat, I mean Fender Strats. Throughout his career, one of which, a 1963 body and late 1962 rosewood curved fingerboard neck, became the most famous battered Strat in rock history. He was notoriously hard on his guitars, and many of them required extensive periodic maintenance, as well as other equipment. He used a limited number of mainly vintage effect pedals and favored Fender and Marshall amplification. Okay, so where's the guitar? Show a picture of the guitar, people. There it is. Okay, it's over there with the SRV number 1, and I wasn't far off. Let's click on this. It's over there. Blow it up for you. You can see the SRV on the right hand side and black pickguard, and I still win because when I meant black and gold, I in fact did mean the gold being the screws that hold it in place, and you see the gold hardware there, the bridge and the input jack over here. Bridge, input jack, and tuning pegs. We've got gold hardware on SRV's guitar. I don't know what this video is. Are you guys even enjoying this? It's kind of like just talking about guitars. I was originally just making this to quiz you guys on if you knew the guitarist, but it's turning into this weird instrument thing. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm enjoying myself. So that was Stevie Ray Vaughan. Okay. Eric Clapton. Give me a band that he was in. Give me a band, Eric Clapton. A band. So there's a clue, right? The Yardbirds and Cream. I believe he was in the Yardbirds with Jeff Beck, or was that with Cream? I don't know. Eric Clapton. post Clapton success pissed Eric off big time. So they were in the band together, right? Yeah, the fallout between him and Eric Clapton. Oh, he replaced him in the Yardbirds. So Jeff Beck replaced Eric Clapton in the Yardbirds. How bored is everyone now? Okay, so, well, there you go. There's some more trivia for you. If you're ever in that guitar conversation, you can be like, yeah, I heard Eric Clapton was really pissed off at the success of the Yardbirds after Jeff Beck took his place, and some might think it's because Beck is the better guitarist. Just use that line and they'll be like, oh, cool. Who the fuck are the Yardbirds? Slash. What is Slash from? Guns N' Roses. It's Slash. Come on, dude. I have a crazy story to share about Slash, actually, if my friend lets me tell it. And I'm gonna get his permission first, and then I'll tell his story if he gives the permission. Crazy story about Slash. Yeah, dude. Slash, incredible. I was really into, their first albums, plural. Welcome to the Jungle was absolutely insane. Sweet Child of Mine, absolutely insane. What a great solo in Sweet Child of Mine, Same with the iconic solos in November Rain. The whole Use Your Illusion album was, excellent. I think Slash is excellent. He's excellent. And such a distinct look with the top hat and the glasses, and he plays the Les Paul. Very signature look. And the curls. He kind of, anyway, the curls and the Les Paul, for people that don't know what a Les Paul is, let's get our little music guitar lesson really quick. A Gibson Les Paul, by the way. Gibson also makes the SG that we learned Angus Young plays. So we've got the Gibson SG and we've got the Gibson Les Paul. So this is what the Les Paul looks like. Peeps. My peeps. Go to images. Over here. There it is. Very popular. Very, very popular. A lot of your favorite guitarists probably play this guitar. So now, actually, between the two guitars. So wait, that's Guitarist. I think I ditched the Strat, but between this guitar and the other guitar that we were talking about earlier, the one played by Stevie Ray Vaughan, for example, the Fender Strat, we've got pretty much the most popular guitars in the world that are used by professional musicians and the people in rock bands and what have you. Cool, and that's the kind of guitar that Slash plays. Okay, I have no idea where we were on this list because I heard this really weird sound. And it was the dog running in his sleep. I took video of it. Maybe I'll actually put it on this. I look downstairs and... Okay. Where are we? We are at Slash. Yeah, so Slash played Les Paul's Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen died last year. It sucks. He was so innovative. I don't know if he came up with finger tapping. I do know he came up with the idea after seeing Jimmy Page, one of the dudes on this list, at a live concert, saw that he was pulling off, in other words, striking a note, and then using your finger that your fingering finger, if you will, not your picking finger, picking here, for example, or pick, but your fingering finger on your left hand to actually sound the next note. So Eddie thought, well, if I can do that, why can't I use my picking hand to strike another note, or actually just say the same note and then pull off with that? So you've got, and then you get this, so you can go super fast, right? And then you can even mix it up. So he kind of came up with that idea, popularly at least. There's been other accounts where people said, no, I was doing that first, and hey, could very well be, man. There was millions of guitarists in the world at that time alone, so he was probably the most popular at the time, though. Yeah, the most famous, I should say. So it is what it is. along with that, he was just prodigious. It was incredible. His fluidity, his technique. He had a really good way of playing things staccato, meaning to be actually played. I don't know where I put my pick. Staccato would actually be played like picking every note as opposed to legato. Yeah, so Eddie was just incredibly good. You know his songs, you've heard him a million times, Hot for Teacher, Panama, and I didn't even ask. Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever asked. What band was Eddie in? If you don't know, you just don't know. His name's Eddie Van Halen. What the hell band do you think he was in? He was in Van Halen, that's correct. Eddie used a variety of guitars. He actually, I don't think it was a Strat, I think it was a Kramer that he used, then he cut up, and then he turned it into a Frankenstein guitar. I'm trying to think of what guitar. Oh, the Wolfgang, duh. He actually had PV Guitars make a guitar called a Wolfgang, and oh, here we go. What relevance? Here's your trivia question for you guys. If you want to get pinned to the top, if you're the first person to answer this, here's your trivia question. What is the relevance of Wolfgang to Eddie Van Halen? What is the relevance to Wolfgang? What is Wolfgang? Who is Wolfgang? Answer it. Get pinned to the top. Okay. Anyway, Eddie Van Halen, R.I.P. He should be number one on this list, in my opinion. And now that he's gone, I wouldn't be surprised if over time he starts replacing Jimi at the top of that list there. No disrespect towards Jimi at all. Then you got, and by Jimi I meant Jimi Hendrix, not Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page. Here we go. What band is Jimmy Page famous for having played in? Oh, 10 seconds, by the way. Led Zeppelin, that's right. Jimmy Page. Follow-up question, what guitar did he play? What guitar did Jimmy Page play? I'll give you a hint. Jimmy Page played the same guitar Slash played. Not the same one. Slash came after Jimmy Page. It's the same guitar. A Gibson. A Gibson what? That's right, a Gibson Les Paul. That's the kind of guitar Jimmy Page would play, and he would also play the 12-string versions as well. In fact, he has a double neck. Is it an SG or a Gibson Les Paul? It's a famous one. It's red, and it's a double neck 6-string and 12-string. Jimmy, come on, guys, let's go. No, I don't want your sidebar garbage. Browsers are getting so fancy. What is it? Jimmy Page. There we go. Jimmy Page, Les Paul. And, well, that's funky artist series. No, I don't care about that. So there's his standard. Let's see. Double neck. Les Paul, double neck. There, and it is an SG. Okay, I wasn't out of my mind. There is the famous Jimmy Page double neck SG. You've got one neck that has 12 strings, one that has 6. Pretty cool, eh? Okay. Yeah, so Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin, hugely influential. The Stairway solo is, albeit, well, you know, you're supposed to say the thing first and then albeit, is one of the best solos ever, albeit very, very overplayed to the point Wayne's World had to say, dude, no Stairway. But that wasn't the solo, that was just the actual. Yeah, Jimmy Page, legend. Okay, that's Jimmy, and then Jimi Hendrix. So this is why I think Eddie Van Halen is going to swap out Jimi Hendrix over the coming years. Jimi Hendrix was incredibly influential in the rock world, made it big at Woodstock. You guys have seen him, you know who he is and everything. He played a very famous white Strat. It is a white Fender Stratocaster. So again, if we're looking at the list, we've got Jimi Hendrix, Strat user, Jimmy Page, Les Paul user, Eddie Van Halen, use a bunch of stuff, but started playing a Wolfgang model Peavey / Les Paul, Eric Clapton, Fender Stratocaster, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Fender Stratocaster, David Gilmour, Fender Stratocaster, and I believe maybe Les Paul's, we'll find out, and then Angus Young, Gibson SG. So, like I said, the world of guitar is dominated by Fender Stratocasters and Gibson Les Pauls, sometimes Fender Telecasters, sometimes Gibson SGs, and then you have offshoots that like other stuff, like Paul Reed Smith guitars are wonderful. I love those. I have a different one. Oh my god, do I have an Ernie Ball? Dude, I just bought an amazing guitar. It's a John Petrucci. It kind of looks like a Wolfgang model, but I'll show it some other time. Anyway, it's taken away from Jimi Hendrix. So Jimi Hendrix, yeah, I like this stuff. So like Purple Haze, Voodoo Child, Manic Depression, his famous Woodstock, this is the national anthem, and very, very, very good jazz musician. Jazz, blues, knew all that kind of stuff. Improvisation, theory. He was just a very, very, very good musician before going and doing that kind of stuff, and unfortunately died as well, and ushered in kind of a new style of playing, just a wild, free method of playing your guitar. So that's why he's kind of put at the list so often. Having said that, so many other awesome guitarists came afterwards. So I guess if it's down to influence, maybe he'll stay there, because without him, the question is, without Jimi Hendrix, would there have been an Eddie Van Halen? That's the question, I think. Would there have been an Eddie Van Halen if there was no Jimi Hendrix? I don't know. Anyway, my other favorite guitarists, since they're not on here, I've talked about him before. Joe Satriani is really good, and Marty Friedman is phenomenal. He was from a band called Megadeth. It's so stupid to say that. Marty was big on his own. He was a prodigy since he was young. He started with another phenomenal guitarist, perhaps the best of all time, one of, at least technically, musically, when it comes to compositions. He was just so incredible. A guy named Jason Becker, and he still is. Has ALS now, completely paralyzed. He's been paralyzed for decades, perhaps the oldest ALS case that's still alive, maybe, and is still composing music with his eyes, actually. That's Jason Becker. Jason Becker and Marty Friedman were in a band called Cacophony together in the 80s, and then Marty did his own stuff, his own solo stuff, which was just phenomenal. No lyrics, just guitar. These guys that I'm talking about are actually primarily just guitar. And then Marty joined Megadeth. Megadeth is a world famous band. People have probably heard of them. The people here, maybe you guys have heard of them. And then left Megadeth, went to do his own stuff. So I'm really into that guy. Also, look, I can talk forever about this stuff. How long have we been going? Let me check OBS really quick, because I gotta go to sleep. Also, I got work tomorrow. Alright, not that long. This is gonna be a pretty quick video, actually. So yeah, that's just the top 10 here, and then it's stupid because if you go there and then the list changes. Like, look at this one. What is this? This is dig.com, best 20 guitars of all time. Like, this is just the top 8. So according to them, number 8 would be Mark Knopfler. That's funny. Couple seconds for Mark Knopfler. Who was Mark Knopfler with? What band was Mark Knopfler in? That would be Dire Straits. So Mark Knopfler, Dire Straits, and he also did music. He went to composing for movies and stuff like that. They're putting Eddie Van Halen at number 7, which is absolutely just atrocious. Brian May, what was he in? 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brian May was the lead guitarist for Queen. Fun fact about Brian May, he made his own guitar with his dad. He played that. That's the guitar that you actually see him in the, what's it called? Why did I just want to say Night at the Roxbury? What is the move? Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia. I can't believe Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody. In the video, you see him, that guitar that he's playing, he actually made that with his dad. Mama, just kidding. You know what I mean? Okay, Chuck Berry. Yeah, he was also super influential, right? Johnny Be Good, My Dingling, of course. Chuck Berry. Eric Clapton was on there. David Gilmour was on the other list. Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page. They put Jimmy Page at number 1 and Jimi Hendrix at number 2. There's a really cool movie called It Might Get Loud. Definitely check it out if you're a guitarist if you haven't seen it. It follows Jimmy Page, Jack Black from the White Stripes, obviously, and The Edge from U2. And the three of them get together for a jam session and to talk about stuff, and interviews each one of them on their own, in depth, in their own locations, and it's just a very, 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 very cool movie. It talks about Jimmy Page's musical background and history, how he was actually, trained at school to play music. He actually, I don't think it was a music conservatory per se, but he did go to a music school and practiced traditional, sheet music as a studio musician. He was a hired gun. He's the real deal. Jimmy Page is the real fucking deal. All right. So, and like a lot of these guys are, I don't know if any of the other guys. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say that. See this? Yeah, it's just what I'm talking about right here. Is like the lists are gonna be so different. This person put Joe Bonamassa, who's also incredible. And put Prince on there also. That's from Music Radar. It's funny how Mark Knopfler appeared on both of those lists. He is very good, but it's like you've been seeing a lot of Knopfler lately. 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Oh, here you go. Guitar World. They put Brian May as the number 1 guitarist of all time. What are we talking about? Let's read this. Guitar World. Total Guitar. I'll just speed read this because we gotta wrap this damn thing up, man. I gotta go to sleep. The 100 greatest guitarists of all time, featuring the trailblazers, the early innovators, the best jazz, rock, indie, blues, metal, and acoustic players, and the best guitars around today. This might be a cool, comprehensive list, but I did just see Brian May right there as number 1, and that's... I just don't agree with it. I just can't, fundamentally. I just can't agree with it. I don't think... Maybe I'll need to listen to more of May's stuff. I know he's a physicist, but featuring the trailblazers... Okay. And by the way, it's saying page 1 of 11. There's 0 chance I'm going to be clicking through this stuff. It makes us do that kind of stuff. Brian May, topping our classic rock poll and receiving more votes than any other poll player. Brian's a true pioneer of tone and one of those rare guitarists who's instantly recognizable from a single note. Okay, whatever. Jimi Hendrix. Just 2 months after featuring Jimmy on the cover of this very magazine, we find ourselves talking once again about his influence. Jimmy Page. Led Zeppelin style riff. Don't care. Eddie Van Halen. Eric Clapton. David Gilmour. Richie Blackmore. Alex Lifeson from Rush. Now, Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple. You've got actually some good guys in here now. Lifeson was really wild. Jeff Beck / Carlos Santana. There you go. Mark Knopfler again. Angus and Malcolm Young. I love that they put both of them on together. Gary Moore. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top. Dwayne Allman from Allman Brothers. Joe Walsh from the Eagles. Keith Richards from Rolling Stones. Frank Zappa from Frank Zappa. George Harrison from the Beatles. Number 20. Okay. Pete Townsend from The Who. Lindsey Buckingham from Lindsey Buckingham, right? What was he in? Steve Howe. Peter Frampton. Joe Perry from Aerosmith. Okay, this is, you know what, it's getting in the weeds now, and too many people are not gonna know who these people are, so... Yeah, it even stopped numbering them at this point. Look, we're done. We're officially done here. I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna see if any of this is even usable. Hopefully you guys are sleeping now, though. Okay. Should I play you out with a song? Let's see, what song will we do? We'll make it an A. It'll would be something you can like maybe sleep to. Like just improv. Like Gregorian monk.